As seems to be the habit when it comes to my YouTube channel, I just love talking about Ninjago minifigures, because they're probably one of my favourite parts about Ninjago. And just in case I don't beat this idea to absolute death, this is probably going to be the final episode of this little series that I've done, because simply put, there's not really many figures that I can think of outside of the ones I've listed. But if you haven't checked out the other videos, I do recommend it, because I do talk about a lot of characters that I really wish were in minifigure form. And it's definitely a shame to think that even though in recent time, LEGO have certainly done a much better job of giving us the side characters, there are still so many that they haven't done, which really do deserve to have it. But there is a criteria when it comes to these videos, because I don't want to be too simple when it comes to my answers for the topic. But in case you haven't seen the other videos and you don't want to, here is the criteria that I set out in the previous video. The fact that we finally have characters like Gale Gossip and Vinnie Folsom in minifigure form is nothing short of a miracle, but we are definitely still far off having all the characters we desire on our shelves. So I thought I'd make this video covering some of these desires, but not go for the more common answers that we all know. Because let's be honest, it wouldn't really make for a good video if I just spent 5 minutes saying, number 3, the gold rebooted ninja. Number 2, the first spin jitsu master. Number 1, your mum. Hopefully though, I can just bring up some more of the good picks today that aren't completely obscure or unthought of, but enough to start a conversation. And let me know if you agree with me or not, because it won't just be me mentioning Cole's dad for 5 minutes. But just like that, welcome to Can LEGO Please Make These Minifigures Part 4? Because LEGO need to do it! Now, to end off this series, there are going to be 7 minifigures I'm going to talk about today, but 2 of them fall under the same positioning on the leaderboard. And before you get to it, give a comment to say which one you think it's going to be, because I'm curious to know if you're on the same page as me. But the 7th figure that I would like to see is going to be the child version of Wu from the Season Hunted. Now this feels like one that would be really helpful to have in minifigure form, because as of the time of Hunted, we were getting a version of Wu essentially for every single stage of his life, apart from being a child. We had Baby Wu, we had Teen Wu, we had the Dragon Master Wu, but we never got a Child Wu to fill in that little bit of a gap, and I think it's one that should have been released at some point in the line. The thing is, they had the perfect set to have this version of Wu in it. The Dragon Pit set would have been absolutely perfect for him, because it's the main place where he showed up in that disguise. But no, you have Teen Wu. Have that! Next! Taking up the number 6 spot is going to be a character that came from Seabound and Crystallized, and while I don't think it's too important that we get her, I still think it would be an amazing addition to any Ninjago collection. This of course is going to be Niad, because she would make a fantastic addition and would go great next to the merged C version of Nia. They would complement each other very well, and I think it would just be an amazing aesthetic overall, and one that would have been perfect in the Water Dragon set from the Seabound wave. But I just think they never really committed to having Niad in the set, because when she did appear, it was in Crystallized, and it was only ready for 1 episode. But I still think it's a character that we would have a great time having in hand that would go great next to the Nia. Because this wouldn't be the first time we got a one-off character in minifigure form that would look great in a collection. I mean, look at the White Nindroid, the Golden Ninja, the list goes on. It's just a case of this one would have looked great with the Seabound Nia, but unfortunately we didn't get it. So moving on. But sticking to the Seabound theme, we're going to look at our number 5 and our number 4, which is going to be the Seabound variant of Rey and Maya. Now, I own the Hands of Time Rey and Maya minifigures already, and I absolutely love them, to put it simply. But I do think we are due a new version of the 2 of them for the collection. I also think it would just be a great opportunity for newer fans to get their hand on the minifigures, because they're not exactly the cheapest, but I do think they definitely missed that opportunity. They would have gone absolutely perfectly in the Seabound wave of sets. You could have put them in the Submarine set and it would have been absolutely perfect. But unfortunately they never did it. And just in general, it would be nice to have new designs of the two of them, because while their hands at times were nice, I do enjoy the more casual look that they had in Seabound, and it certainly would be the look they stuck with if we saw them outside of that season. But unfortunately, I do think this is one that we won't get in minifigure form, because they don't exactly seem to give us a lot in terms of the ninjas' parents. I mean, we've never gotten Cole's dad, we never got Dr. Julian, we never got Jay's mother. We do have Jay's adopted parents, but they are their movie variant and not their show ones, which is a shame. But I do think LEGO should definitely look at doing more of the ninja parents in minifigure form, because while we do have a Ray and Maya, I do think we're due new ones. But coming in at our number 3 pick is going to be a kid version of Moro. And I'm specifically referring to the version of Moro that we see in the flashbacks in the episode Ghost Story, and not the skeletal one that we get to see. This again would just go nice in terms of a Moro collection, because we have the possessed Lloyd, which is technically Moro, and we have the ghost version of Moro. But the thing is that we don't have a human variant of him, which is a very big shame. I think that's one thing that we're really missing in terms of Moro in the collection, which is the human variant. Because I know the whole thing is that he's a ghost, but we do obviously understand that he wasn't one at one point. But hey, maybe one day LEGO will give us a human variant of Moro. I just don't exactly know how they're going to get away with it unless they one day commit to a CMF of the series, which hopefully they do. And it would also just be nice to have a new version of the Moro hair, maybe where they actually give us the green streak, and it would be nice to have a different version of the ZX Lloyd torso, where it's more of that muted green that he had in the flashback. But again, I really don't know if this would happen now, but it just would be nice to see. But that of course brings us to the number 2 spot, which is going to be a bit more of a rogue pick, and it's going to be Salil. Now, it's definitely been a long time since the Phantom Ninja has been mentioned in any sort of Ninjago media, but it's one that a lot of OG fans remember with a lot of nostalgia. And to be honest, it's just one that has a fantastic design, and because she was in a lot of comics as well, we see what she would look like actually as a minifigure. And to say the least, I want one. The thing is that she just kept popping up. She was in the comics, she was in Way of the Departed, she's on the Samurai X Cave Chaos screen. She's just everywhere, but we just never got anything more of that in minifigure form. Now, unfortunately, I do think this is the same as a kid version of Moro. I think it's just simply been too long, to the point where they probably won't give us that sort of minifigure. But I can hope. But like I said, it would just be a very fun variant to own, and I think finally having a minifigure of Salil would make a lot of Ninjago fans very happy. But again, I really am not holding my breath for this one. But this of course takes us to the number 1 pick, and I'm gonna be honest, if this one doesn't happen, I will be thoroughly surprised. This is going to be the casual version of Garmadon that we got to see in Crystallized, because I'm gonna be honest, the fact that this isn't a minifigure is borderline crazy. This is potentially one of my favorite designs of Garmadon in the entire show, because everything about the design I can't help but love, and the fact that we never got it is such a shame. The thing is that it would look so good next to the rest of the Garmadons, because while it's not too much of a departure from the Garmadon design, it's still enough that would stand out, and I think that's exactly what we need in the Garmadon collection. And as someone who owns every single variant of Garmadon, I would certainly love to have that version of him amongst the others, because I do think they're missing one that's more of a fun look overall. But like I said, I will be thoroughly surprised if we don't get this in minifigure form, whether that's in a book, whether that's in a magazine, whether that's in anything. If we don't get this one, I will be shocked. But just like that, that is every single minifigure I wanted to cover in this episode. And just like that, I think I'm going to retire this series for now. It's not that I don't want to continue it, it's just I don't really have many more picks that I personally would want in my Ninjago collection. But if you guys want to see me talk about Ninjago minifigures that you want in minifigure form, let me know, because I will create a post for you guys to put your suggestions. But just like that, that about does it for today, and I hope you guys enjoyed, and let me know your opinions on my picks for the episode. But other than that, like I said, thanks for watching guys, and I hope you take care. Okay, bye!